What's up, Amakhosi Network? Welcome to the channel, Makhosi Amahle. To this weekend, tomorrow actually, we're playing Royal AM. Kaizer Chiefs versus Royal AM. It's going down. I believe this game is at FNB Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, before we get into that, we're going to be chatting about the starting lineup. But please, like, comment, and subscribe. I know those actions may irritate some of you, but it's for control. Yes, but anyway, let's talk about it. The previous game was not good, but we got the results. There were positives here and there. Finishing is still a very big problem. The striker thing is going to be a big one. Midfield is also a big one. There was a lot of discussions between us fans. What is the most important, striker, midfielder? Some of us feel like at least we're creating some chances. But if there was a lethal striker, this guy would be scoring a brace almost every game. But a lot of people are arguing as well that you do still need a midfield that is going to create for that striker. My personal comment is that in the Jan transfer window, we need both. We need both a striker and both a midfielder. But if we cannot get a strong playmakers from the middle, if we can't do that, we need a striker, because there's no use having the most creative midfielders with no one to pass, But anyway, let's talk about the starting lineup. First one, I think they're going to continue with Peterson. He didn't have much issues. He did concede the goal, but I don't want to blame him too much on it. But at the same time, I can't wait for a time where we get a goalkeeper who commands an area. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of you will realize that in the goal that Peterson conceded, there was two elements. They hit him they scored in the near post, and the second one, it was a floating ball. So he was able to anticipate it, come out, punch it out. And that's what we used to enjoy about Kune. Kune anticipated things before they happened. Even though Kune is not even the tallest keepers in South Africa or in the world, but his anticipation of where the ball is going to be, that's what was the difference between him and the rest. I think till today, I know Ronan Williams is on like a world-beating team called Sundowns, but I still don't think he's better than E2. E2 was doing things that weren't meant to be done. Like, it was unbelievable. But anyway, Peterson will start. Cross still going to be left back. Dorothy is going to play. I don't know if Miguel is serving a 1-game suspension or a 2-game suspension, but if it's a 1-game suspension, because it wasn't a straight red, but like the 2 yellow cards kind of thing, then it's going to be Miguel. But I'll have to check on that, because sometimes I get confused about this 1-game suspension. But if you get a straight red, it's 2 games. But anyway, hopefully either Miguel will be back or Msimang will be there. Right back is Solomons. We saw Frosler got a red card as well. So that's going to happen. The midfield is going to be an interesting one, because a lot of you guys were praising Matt, were saying Matt had a beautiful game. And for me personally, if Nkosimpilo Ngcobo is fit, I would rather Nkosimpilo Ngcobo start for us than Matt. A lot of you will be like, why when someone has a good performance, why must you drop him, man? Why finally And I'm like, guys, I don't analyze a game on the small moments. I analyze the full game. Number one, Richards Bay is a very, very pub team. A pub team. That is the problem with Richards Bay. They even fired their coach. Why he even got hired, we must go as Richards Bay. But anyway, Richards Bay was a very pub team. So our midfield didn't have midfield battles. Let's be honest, who was our struggle in the midfield? Who did we struggle? Because every team we've played so far, the midfield players often give Abu Martin them a problem. But this game, there was no one giving nice crosses out. Like, there was no one Glovu of Super Sport United. There was no one of risk. So that's why I'm saying, so when Matt is in the game and he creates that one assist in the first half, but the first half is not doing anything, then he creates an amazing assist for Ashley Dupree. That one I give, that Ashley Dupree goal, I give credit to Matt and I give credit to Ashley Dupree, because the pass that Matt saw was fantastic. But the touch that Dupree had was world class. So in that moment, I think Matt's two plays before he left the game were actually very beautiful. I'll praise him. That's why I'm not here to bash people, but I'll praise him for that. If Nabi starts Matt in the game tomorrow, it will be understandable because of his second half performance, especially those last two plays he had. He did things right in those last two moments, but at the same time, you need to understand the circumstances. So the circumstances that the first half he didn't create much except for that cross, but that cross was a good cross. We're not taking it away from him. But apart from that cross, what did Matt do? Do you guys remember Matt in the first half besides the assist? No, you don't. If you say you do remember Matt, you're lying. Second half, what happened? We got a red card. So when we got a red card, what did Richards Bay do? Richards Bay decided to sacrifice some of their midfield players to add in attackers. What does that mean? That means that Matt and Dupree were going to start hitting these guys on a counter, which means it's either Richards Bay is going to beat us because they have more players on the field, or Chiefs is going to hit a counter and score. And that is exactly what happened. Chiefs hit a counter and scored. And that's why I'm saying that's the difference. When it was Richards Bay 11 versus Kaizer Chiefs 11, Matt was non-existent in that game. He couldn't create. But when Richards Bay decided to sacrifice the midfield that was in essence blocking Matt from penetrating, then what happens is that Richards Bay's gameplay changed into becoming more attacking. When you attack more, you open spaces where at the back. And when they open spaces at the back, Matt was free. But in Royal AM, are we expecting a game that is going to look like that? No. Why? John Maduka of Royal AM is a very, very tactical coach. His midfield are hardworking guys. Yes, you can see that they have not signed any player, but you wouldn't say that Royal AM it hasn't signed any player because of how they play. The last game they lost like 3-2, but they should have won that game. You know, they were basically leading that game. They should have won that game. And that's what I'm talking about. John Munduka knows how to make that limited squad of his play, especially from the midfield. About those Tikazi and all of these guys, somehow with no support whatsoever, these guys play their hearts out to make sure that Royal AM survives. And that is what Matt is going to come against. So he's going to struggle to create. And that is my problem. First half, Matt was passing backwards because it was 11 versus 11. But the moment Richards Bay started to attack, Mbobo's opened at the back. But that won't happen against Royal M. But anyway, that is my logic. You guys can challenge me on it anyway. But then there's going to be Matt. Matt will probably start like... People would question Nabi if he didn't start Matt. That's what I'm saying. Mteto, I feel, has to start. Mteto played a Stellenbosch type Mteto game, and that is what we've been crying for. Gadlaza yonke into, phihliza yonke into, zgazonga yonke into, but just pass a Kaizer Chiefs player. You don't have to do anything fancy. When I get the ball, dish it to the Kaizer Chiefs player. You don't have to do it through pass yomhlaba to chip the ball over everyone, etc. Actually, that's another thing I want to talk about. One thing I dislike about the Chiefs players, sometimes they try to be fancy. They try to be fancy and do things that they don't realize we don't have top quality players. What do I mean? If you were a Chiefs player, do your best to keep the ball on the ground. Don't do this thing of trying to chip. If you can pass someone on the ground, make it easy for them. Because when you're chipping and this guy still has to trap 5 times, it makes life difficult. And that's what I'm saying. We don't have the quality player where you can chip the ball and this guy will trap and he's already on the run. We have the players who they trap, they're going backwards, and then they come in back, and then they back, and then you're like, aye man. How can we won Marutrapa guy 10? Aye man. That time you meant to trap and go. Trap and see the next position. But anyway. Then the next one will probably, I think Sirino may come back. I don't think Modi had a good game, but it was good to see him out there. But I think Sirino will be back for this game. Duba scored. So I think he will score, but I'm going to touch on Duba. And then I think Ashley Dupree should start. Dusha Badalo will most probably still start. He didn't have a good game. He didn't have a good game, but the thing is that if Sirino is starting, then it's good to have Mdu, because Mdu only plays well if Sirino is there, which makes me realize Mdu Shabalala is the kind of player that does well when he's around top quality players. But when he's around average players, he goes to their level. So Mdu is the kind of player who can't play above the team's level. So if Chiefs is here, a low level, Mdu's performance will be here. But if Chiefs has high quality players, for whatever reason, Mdu matches that high quality level. And that is the thing he has to fix in himself, because you can't do that. You cannot do that. It can't be that when Sirino is in the game, now you're not there all of a second Sunday. When Sirino is there, you're doing amazing things, man. Mdu, you need to take your game serious. And this is not me criticizing a youngster. This is me saying loads of potential. You can see he's committed to the game. You can see he's trying his best. But he needs to step up. And stepping up, and this is something I think Abomdu Shabalala miss, and I see you Duba is doing it. When Abo Sirino are not on the pitch, stepping up does not mean good you have to take all the responsibility and put it on your shoulders. No, that is not what stepping up means. Stepping up means you make the right play. You don't waste time. You make the right play. It doesn't mean good you must carry the ball, dribble 5 players, take a shot from halfway line. No. We don't want that Mdu Shabalala. We want them to Shabalala who will get the ball, see where Dupree is, pass. Even if these guys fail to do something, but you need to consistently do the right thing. Don't stop doing the right thing, because that's where you mess up. When you start changing your game and start doing things that you know you can't do, like trying to carry a team on your shoulders, don't do that. When I play your game, because the moment you don't play your game, you then become a player that is non-existent in the field. And I would rather have Mdu doing the right things than have Mdu who's trying too hard and is messing up all plays. That's what I have to say to Mdu Shabala. To Duba, one thing I've picked up with Duba, and it's a very, very sad thing to say. Duba is not a creative right winger or right attack. He's not. So whenever the ball goes to him, he does not know what to do with the ball, because he's not naturally a winger. Mduba's biggest problem now is the fact that he is good defensively because he has the energy, but he's not good in creating on the right side. So our right side in the Richards Bay game was dead. It's dead. In almost every game, our right side is dead, except when he gets through passes that are taking him straight to the pole. But if these teams are playing at the back and they're not giving space, they're not pressing us high, then Duba does not have those spaces behind. And if Duba does not have those spaces behind, it means that his game has to be creative. He has to get the ball, play 1-2s, get the ball, take on a man. But you could see in the game against Richards Bay that he struggles to even take on a man. He thinks taking on a man is beating a man with pace. But the thing is that he doesn't even know how to do it. Duba kicks the ball and tries to run to the ball. But what he doesn't realize is that the PSL players are actually some of the better or smarter players. So what they do is that they don't have to match your pace. They just have to run, stop your run. So for example, if I am Duba, I kick the ball. The moment you kick the ball, the PSL defender isn't going to match you with speed to go there. He's going to make his life simple. He's going to step in front of you and then run to the ball. So then now you are struggling with so he gets to the ball before you. Wasted chance. You see? So that's why I'm saying that's my problem with Duba. Duba has this thing. He wants to kick the ball and run to the ball. But what happens? Get PSL player. Block him. Then he cries, no, I'm block, I'm gonna cry. And then like, aye. You are a midfielder, Baba. You are an attacker. You need to be smart. And this is why I say sometimes you can see someone who's not naturally in that position. If you are a player who runs behind players and who can't take on players, your movement has to be your move. Do you get what I'm saying? If you cannot take on a player, your movement has to be your form of attack. Meaning that if I can't take you on one-on-one, I must beat you before I get the ball. I must run around you. Abo Mato see me. I must run this side. I have to build my performance around a move. I have to cut in the midfield, run around, and make it so that somehow I'm available. Your move is how you take on a player, and that's something PSL players I don't think realize. They lack the intellect to realize these things. You sometimes have to beat a player, not by dribbling the player, but by the movement of the ball. Movement of the ball is how teams like Barcelona have played all their lives. Barcelona, you will never say Iniesta started good left side of the midfield. What the game good left side? No. Iniesta is on the left side of the midfield. When you blink your eye, now Iniesta. How? Uyanzanla. Uchavi. Man. Then you like, all right. See, movement of the ball. Amakhosi.